Thanks, Bob Schofield. Thanks for this cool present. Fragile. Postal. I know it's in here somewhere. Anyway, I got steel bowl through bolt, bill tube, and um, there was something else in here. I forgot. Anyway, thanks, Bob. I'll have to show it later on. And thanks, Doug Kahn, for sending this. Bob Schofield ordered it for me. Robert Schofield, Bob Schofield, magician, motocross biker, sponsored by Honda. As a teenager, now as an adult, and he does magic tricks. He orders me magic tricks. I thought that's cool with Bob Schofield. There was something else in there, I can't remember. Bob had a way of surprising me. He said, "Did you get anything from Trick or Supply in email?" Well, I get it once in a while. I mean, I go to Doug Kahn's YouTube channel and told him thanks for the cups and balls and all that. So he went on his cell phone and said, "Oh, here it is, Trick Supply. Wow, look at all those books. Wow, that Ed Marlowe thing. Wow, that's good stuff. Although the price is very expensive, though. Although it's good information, man." And scroll through here and say, "Yeah, it does. Oh, well, you got an edge deck, right? In other words, you got a stripper deck, right? And you got and of course you got marked cards and invisible deck. Yeah, I've had that, but it's neat how Doug Kahn puts it in a pack like that. Yeah, you know, oh, what's this? Bill tube and all that. How's that work? Well, I used to have one, but I don't. I seen a video of how it does and all that, and I went to the 9 yards how that worked. I said, if you watch Doug Henning and all that stuff, well, send it to me, Bill. I want to see how Doug Henning does it. It says it comes with instructions, and then he goes, and he said, don't that sound good? That bill tube and stuff. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. And the ball through bolt. Yeah, it does sound good. All that sounds good, don't it, Bill? Yeah. And then he said, and then he reaches behind the back seat of his car, and he says, "What's this?" "Oh, Trick Supply." To Robert Schofield, "Here you go, Bill." And I go, "Oh, Bob, you did the yellow brick road." "Yeah, Bill, hook, line, and sinker. I led you down the yellow brick road." You have a way of surprising people. Yeah, I know. Bob Schofield is a good misdirection magician. He sets the storyline and led me down the rabbit hole into a good Easter egg. It was good to talking to the Sheltons again. They've been there when they were younger. I remember when I was doing 1 to 5 trick, and they knew what I was using because they said, "Yeah, our brother Caleb, he does it to vanish the handkerchief with." And I said, "Yeah, I saw your dad's PowerPoint. He had a magic set, and he was doing magic." I said, "Well, anyway, here's a DVD that has a little bit of Stage Illusion Secrets, plus it has the Good News Baptist Church 30th anniversary of our church celebrating outside in a tent, because your dad wanted the 30th anniversary, so I made that on the side. But here's a DVD of 6 hours worth of magic straight on." And they said, "Oh, cool. We got a DVD player in the car, and we can watch it all the way while we're in the car. And I said, well, yeah, well, you enjoy. Anyway, now that they're older, they came tonight, and I talked to James, and I told the same thing I just said here, and he said, I don't remember none of that. You don't remember none of that? I remember it. And I said, for example, retired Mark Taylor and other people in our church said, we can't remember that old lady that always gets the Mother's Day present because she's the oldest mother. What's her name again, Bill? Oh, you mean Mrs. Songbird? Yeah, that's her name. And then James sees, what's his name? Not Brian. There's Brian Tarkinen, and then there's the next one down. Brian Tarkinen, and I used to remember their names. Brian. Anyway, the second Tarkinen, he went over and talked to him, and they were looking at each other through their cell phones and all that, having a good old time. And then I went to, and I handed him a YouTube channel and stuff with all the places I go, and then Ruby's Cube, Stephen Brundage, and Crazy Sam Saul. Oh, cool, my brother's got Ruby's Cube tricks on that. Okay, thanks. And I told him all about the moon vanish and all that stuff in detail, and everybody's theories. And then I was telling his sister the same thing, and when I said, well, I can just look on my brother James. You give it to brother James, yeah. And so okay. And when I told him that your brother James don't remember any of that, she goes, "Aw." I said, "Yeah, I know." And then I told her dad that I said, "Here's my YouTube channel," and then I showed the web magic tricks and stuff, and Ruby's Cube tricks. And he said, "Oh, Caleb will like that. He's an engineer, but he got Ruby's Cube tricks." And even his daughter mentioned he's got tons of Rubik's Cubes, different kinds and everything. Oh, wow. I think James mentioned that too, I think. Anyway, Bob was talking to Mr. Shelton, and a lot of people were talking to him, and I said, I did one trick of doing the Rubik's Cube to Mr. Shelton, and I said it'd be tricks like that. And then John Radish wanted to talk to Mr. Shelton. Before he did, he said, yeah, Bill's our resident magician. And before church service, I did James, I did I think it's the instant solve I did, and then I said pick a color. I can't remember the color that he picked. It might have been blue, I don't know. But anyway, I said, what is your color? It comes into view. Now the whole cube's done. Anyway, but the one I did on his dad was the JC Akira underground gear solve idea. Jeff Wembley is like, Bill, you drive me batty with that Rubik's Cube. I know why, because you don't know how to solve it. Yeah, I know how to solve it. I'll just throw it and it'll fall to pieces. That's how I put it together. Very funny, Jeff. I said, we'll do that to Stephen Brundage and Crazy Sam Solve and all the other Rubik's experts and speed solvers. You know, throw their Rubik's Cube and break it up into pieces and see how what they will do. Anyway. Well, hopefully my mom, Darlene Page, will get back in good news, and gradually the rest of the gang too. My mom said, "Well, keep praying," and I said, "Okay." Anyway, um, PJ, it would be his first, if he does come, because I'm sure he would enjoy it because he can meet people his age there and and learn a lot from God's word. And Mauricio probably would like it too. Cheryl's husband and stuff. I put Cheryl in a Sunday school about her car needed fixing. She says it goes 35 miles an hour and stuff. So everybody praying, put her on the prayer list on that. And we put everybody on the prayer list, my mom and the Parker family. Well, you get the idea. And Pastor Asher, last 2 Wednesday nights, prayed with me. The second time we prayed, I prayed, and then this other guy, and then Pastor Asher, and but me and Pastor Asher prayed for my family to get back into church again. My mom and my sister Cheryl and Stacy, and then their children, Tony and William and everybody. And the whole Paige Parker thing, PJ Parker, would be nice to be his first time. Desiree, she's been there before. Desiree, and I'm trying to think. Anyway, Philip Parker and all them, and Cheryl and Stacy and all them. I know Raymond Eugene Smith III and Raymond Eugene Smith IV and Alex Smith and Raymond Smith Jr. I know they won't, and Katie Bell, I know they wouldn't be able to. They live like long distance, so there's no way unless they watch live stream. Now that would be good. At least they can do that. It's good that my mom at least watches live stream on YouTube and Sunday morning. I don't think she does Sunday night, but it would be nice if she did Sunday night. It's good that the church is starting Vacation Bible School on live stream. That way, if nobody can't see it, they can see the whole thing. Not only for the longer skit to get a highlight of what the kids will be seeing, that we'll all get to see the whole thing all that week. I was able to take my video camera and put it in my PC laptop computer so I can always play it back and all that. And I upload it on my YouTube channel, and the church still has it on their YouTube channel and Facebook. Yeah. I liked Pastor Esther's turkey joke. The kids there, it went over their head. He said, "Thanksgiving turkey, ha ha." He goes, "Ah, never mind." Anyway, well, if Pastor Asher comes by my mom's house, hopefully motivate her. And I know that Bob Scofield said if your mom wants to be picked up, Bill, I can pick her up. I'll pick you up first, her second, then pick up Laura, and then pick up Jeff Wimley and Roy Justice and swing by and pick up Ted Peterson and head straight to church. Okay, I'll text my mom on that. Yeah.